こちらでは TAAF2023 トーク&トークというコーナーでお届けをしていきたいと思います。TAAF2023 のコンペティション部門にノミネートされた制作者やクリエイターの方にこちらでですねインタビューを行い、その作品の制作背景ですとか過程などお話を伺っていくというコーナーになっております。私の方が司会を務めさせていただきますゆるぎそうと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。はい、では始めてまいりましょう。短編アニメーション、コンペティション部門にノミネートされている好奇心の監督テッサ・ムールト・ミレフスカさんです。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you for having me.
早速ですけど自己紹介を一つお願いできますでしょうか。
My name is Tessa, and I was born in the UK, but I grew up in Poland. So I was raised bilingual, and in 2020, I went to the NFTS, the National Film and Television School, to get a master's degree in directing animation. And Curiosa is my graduation film, and it's also a graduation film of my colleagues from different departments, who also collaborated on making this film.
まさにその好奇心という作品、主人公のメリーさんを連れてきてもらっていますけれども、どのような作品なのかご紹介、イントロダクションをお願いできますでしょうか。
So Mary is a very curious character. She's a young woman who's asking a lot of questions and has still many lessons to learn about life. And I think she's also quite a romantic deep down, which maybe comes with her age. She's quite a young person. And she is obviously inspired by some of my experiences from when I was younger. And this is a story about her going to her boyfriend's apartment for the first time. And the apartment is bare of any possessions. So she starts to ask questions and eventually finds a door on the boyfriend's head and opens it and goes inside in search of answers.
そうだったんですね。好奇心猫を殺すとキュリオシティにキルズキャットと言いますが、メリーはね怖い目をとても合うんです。とっても可愛らしいキャラクターで見ていてすごく引き込まれるものがありました。
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
それでその一方で拝見してて今回たくさん作品見ている中で一番怖いというか、脚本として最後のセリフがスッて意味が分かった時に心にね残っちゃったんですよね。普段からやっぱり脚本っていうのはすごく力を入れられているのかなと思ったんですが、どういう作り方でいらっしゃいましたか。
So it was very much my intention for the story to end in a scary way. I think the film itself is far lighter than I expected it to be. I think I'm quite inspired by things that are quite dark, and I tried to build a balance between this dark side and the light side. So knowing that it's going to get much darker, that's why I wanted the character to be quite light and joyful and cute. Working on the story, I was inspired by many things, including retroactive jealousy. But while developing the idea itself, I was pitching a one-liner being a girlfriend climbs into her boyfriend's head, and somehow everyone knew it was going to end badly. There wasn't any precise ending, but I knew it was going to be a dark ending. And I knew that there is a lesson to learn about curiosity. You can always ask yourself, is it better to remain blissfully ignorant or ask questions and pay the price for them?
なるほどですね。それはもうまさに見ていただくとよくわかるんじゃないかと。またね途中の演出のスピード感がゆっくりやったり速くなったりっていうのもすごく見る人を心を煽るのがすごいお上手だなと思って見ておりました。
I work closely with an editor, so I think she was a great editor and a great friend, so it still is. So I think you can feel the editor's hand in this film.
では続いてですね、シナリオの件も気になるんですけど、メリーさんについてもちょっとお聞きしようと思うんです。パペットでこれ撮影の時やっぱりすごいご苦労だったと思うんですけど、どういう感じでやられてましたか。何人がかりとかっていうのが教えていただけたら。
So I think a challenge from the beginning was that we had this puppet made, and she had to last the whole film, so we used her for a year. So now that we're finished, you can see that she's been very strongly used. So we had no duplicates, so we had to be quite careful with her. So for example, with eyelids, they're really, really tiny, and if we lost them, we'd have a really big problem because we didn't have the duplicates or a easy possibility of making them. So that was always a challenge. And in general, animating is quite a slow process. So just staying organized and making sure that every day we do one shot was also very important.
洗ったりとかできないんですよね、きっとね。
We can clean her a bit, but like with parts like this, it needs to be covered and repainted. You can see that there's some fractures on the ears. So we would have to maintain her while shooting, but there's some parts that were especially fragile, and we really had to take care not to fracture them.
はい、ではちょっとまた形が違うお話をお聞きするんですけど、でもさっきチームのことも一応お伺いします。何人がかりぐらいので制作に取り掛かれたんでしたっけ？
We had quite a big team, quite a large team. I think because this was a collaboration between departments, we had students of other departments like editing, DOP, production design, a screenwriter to help us, in post-production, colorist, and VFX student. We also had an animation volunteer and a whole group of volunteers helping with the production, working with the production designer, because it was quite a large set and it was quite ambitious. And also we had a miniature set as well as a life-size set. So we had around 15 volunteers that would come to the school and help build those sets. And then we had a whole bunch of volunteers helping with the post-production. So I think in general it's quite a large team. And of course the composer too and the sound designer. So is it 8 or 10 other students? And then I'd say maybe 20, 30 other people.
テッサ監督、次どういうものを作る、そのもより本当はダークなものみたいなお話もありましたが、次考えられているお話とか終わりなんですか？
So I am working on a feature film. I started writing it in 2019, and in 2021, while it was at the NFTS, we got development funds from the Polish Film Institute. So I'm still working as a writer on that and planning to direct it when we get production funds. And I'm also working on some short film ideas for animated documentary, because I really like the combination of animation and documentary, and I think that's a direction I'd like to explore. But I'm also making a comic book with some Polish artists, and generally just trying to find work in writing and directing.
もう大変なご活躍で、ちょっと一つ一つ聞きたいことが止まらないんですけれども、これはこれでまたですね、ちょっと時間の方が迫っておりまして、最後にですね、それではテッサ監督からご自身の作品の、改めての視聴者の方への紹介であったりとか、オンラインで見ている方へのメッセージを頂戴できたらと思います。
Well, I just wanted to say it's a pleasure and privilege to be here. So I'd like to thank the festival for inviting me and choosing such a great selection of films. And I do hope that audiences enjoy them, and I do hope a lot of people come and watch more animation.
ありがとうございます。はい、それでは好奇心の監督、テッサムルト・ミレフクサさんでした。どうもありがとうございます。お拍手でどうぞお聞きください。